Ashraf Marwan. Imagine being one of the world's top arms dealers, and then suddenly plunging to your death from a London balcony. In June 2007, that fate befell Dr. Ashraf Marwan, an Egyptian billionaire and political insider. Marwan was Nasser's son-in-law and a longtime advisor to Egyptian presidents. His body was found in the garden below his Mayfair flat after he fell 5 floors. Officially, his death was called an accident or suicide, but many questions remain unanswered. Conspiracy theories immediately took hold. Israeli media reported that Marwan had been killed by Egyptian intelligence for spying on Israel, while Egyptian sources blamed Mossad for assassinating him to bury dangerous secrets. Scotland Yard later took over the case after discovering that Marwan's shoes, the ones he wore on the day he died, were missing from the scene. Witnesses even reported seeing 2 men in suits standing on his balcony right after the fall. Marwan has been described by historians as the most infamous spy in the Middle East. To add to the intrigue, the only copy of Marwan's nearly completed memoir, said to contain explosive revelations, vanished from his apartment the day he died. Was he silenced to keep those secrets hidden? His death remains one of history's most perplexing espionage mysteries. For years after his fall, journalists and spy novelists treated Marwan's case like fiction. Marwan's widow publicly blamed Mossad for his murder, though British detectives rejected that claim. In truth, no one has ever been tried for his death. Marwan took his secrets, and the answers, to the grave. Investigators and historians still debate what really happened, but the lack of concrete evidence means Ashraf Marwan's story continues to unfold in the shadows of conspiracy theories. Alexander Perepilichny. 5 years later, another wealthy insider died under mysterious circumstances. In November 2012, Alexander Perepilichny, a Russian banker turned whistleblower, collapsed and died while jogging near his Surrey home. Perepilichny had fled Moscow after providing evidence in a massive fraud case and had warned friends he feared for his life. At first, investigators suspected a heart attack. Then came the bombshell. Toxicology tests revealed a rare plant-based poison, gelsemium, in his body. His death came just after he had helped expose a $230 million embezzlement involving Russian tax officials. The use of such an exotic toxin suggested a professional hit. Interpol even took an interest, given the international implications of his whistleblowing. Perepilichny's case remains unsolved to this day, a stark reminder that blowing the whistle on corruption can sometimes be as dangerous as the crimes themselves. Perepilichny's death is often compared to other high-profile poisonings, like the 2006 case of Alexander Litvinenko. Some intelligence experts privately noted the uncanny similarities: a whistleblower, an exotic poison, and a sudden death on London soil. But unlike Litvinenko, no country ever claimed responsibility, and no one has been charged. His story underscores how global crime and politics can become deadly, even far from home, and how evidence can evaporate when powerful figures are involved. Robert Maxwell. Decades earlier, a British media mogul met a death that would expose a vast financial scandal. On November 5, 1991, flamboyant publisher Robert Maxwell vanished from his luxury yacht, the Lady Ghislaine, off the Canary Islands. His naked body washed ashore days later. Maxwell was 68 and one of the UK's richest men. Authorities initially said he drowned accidentally after a heart attack, but after his death, a real bombshell came to light. Auditors discovered Maxwell had secretly looted a staggering $460 million from his company's pension funds to prop up failing businesses. The scandal made Maxwell infamous. He was branded the robber baron overnight. Maxwell had also been known for secret ties with world leaders, including rumored deals with Israel's government. Conspiracy theories swirled. Did his intelligence connections have something to do with his end? Whether Maxwell killed himself to avoid exposure, or was eliminated to keep secrets safe, his death unveiled the fragility of even the grandest empires. Maxwell's yacht, the Lady Ghislaine, became a symbol of mystery. His family insisted he was not suicidal, and the case remains controversial. In popular culture, Maxwell's death is often cited as an extreme example of a corporate collapse. When a media titan falls from such heights, he can take an entire system down with him. And Maxwell took down a large part of the British press pension system in one dramatic swoop. His final act was a revelation of how power can mask peril, and his legacy lives on as a cautionary tale in business ethics discussions. Barry and Honey Sherman. In Canada, one of the world's richest couples met a gruesome fate. On December 15, 2017, billionaire Barry Sherman, founder of generic drug giant Apotex, and his wife, Honey, were discovered dead in their Toronto mansion. The scene was chilling. Both were slumped beside their indoor pool with leather belts tied around their necks and secured to a railing. Barry Sherman was 75 and worth roughly $3 billion. Initially, police considered the unthinkable. Could this have been a murder-suicide? The context made no sense. The couple was known for their philanthropy and devotion to each other. 6 weeks later, investigators stunned Canada by declaring that the Shermans had been the victims of a targeted double homicide. There were no signs of forced entry, suggesting the killers were let in by someone the Shermans trusted. Police described the crime as meticulously planned. Motives remain elusive. Sherman had been locked in lawsuits with many business rivals, sparking speculation, but no definitive suspects emerged. Despite offering a $35 million reward and combing through every lead, law enforcement has never charged anyone. 5 years on, the case remains unsolved, a chilling mystery at the top of Canada's crime archives. The Shermans were beloved for their philanthropy. Barry had helped build hospitals and universities, which made the murders even more puzzling. Canada's elite were shaken. If such a high-profile couple could be killed in their home with no answers, what did that say about the safety of others? Documentaries and podcasts have explored every angle, yet the Sherman story still lacks resolution. Their deaths serve as a grim reminder that even the wealthiest families can harbor dark secrets, and sometimes those secrets end violently, with none left to tell the tale. Gerald Cotton. The mystery of hidden fortunes took a new form in 2018. Gerald "Jerry" Cotton was a 30-year-old tech entrepreneur who founded Quadriga CX, once Canada's largest cryptocurrency exchange. During his honeymoon in India, Cotton died suddenly of complications from Crohn's disease. But Cotton's death was only the beginning of a far stranger saga. He was the only person who held the private keys to Quadriga's wallets. At his death, about $250 million, roughly 200 million, of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency was locked away on the platform. When Quadriga's books were later audited, regulators found something horrifying. Roughly $190 million of customer crypto had vanished through fake accounts and phantom trades. In other words, Cotton's exchange had been running a Ponzi-like fraud. Conspiracy theories exploded. Did Cotton secretly escape with the money when he died? Was he actually murdered by someone involved? A Netflix documentary, Dead Man's Switch 2021, investigated these questions. In the end, no proof of foul play was found. The default explanation became that Cotton collapsed and the money simply evaporated. His death locked away millions in cryptocurrency and left a cautionary tale. When one person holds all the keys to a fortune, that fortune can vanish overnight. Exchanges around the world now routinely use multi-signature wallets or distributed key custody to prevent a single death from freezing all assets, a direct result of what happened to Cotton. Matthew Mellon. The crypto drama didn't stop there. Matthew Mellon was an American banking heir who quietly turned a modest cryptocurrency investment into about a $1 billion fortune. In 2018, at age 54, Mellon collapsed and died, shortly after returning from a trip to Mexico. Officially, doctors listed no foul play. They cited natural causes related to heart conditions and altitude. Mellon had been in a Montreal hospital, reportedly for diabetes treatment, and died en route home. Mellon's death fueled wild rumor. His close friends said he had grown paranoid that someone was after his hidden crypto stash. He even joked that someone might kill me for this when showing off his holdings. After he died, a tabloid reported he feared people would kill him and take it. Those claims were never verified. No evidence of poison or violence was found. Investigators ultimately recorded it as a medical tragedy. Still, Mellon's passing sent a shiver through the crypto world. He left behind a thriving cryptocurrency investment portfolio and no clear explanation for his sudden end. His story is often cited online as a warning. Immense crypto wealth can bring even bigger headaches, or worse, wild speculation about assassins. Mellon's death remains officially natural, but it lives on in crypto lore as another mysterious chapter. Mircea Popescu, another notorious tale from the crypto underworld. Mircea Popescu, a brazen Romanian Bitcoin investor. He boasted of controlling about 30,000 Bitcoins, roughly $2 billion at Bitcoin's peak. Popescu was a colorful character who often taunted critics online. In June 2021, he went for a swim off the coast of Costa Rica and never returned. He was later found drowned. Authorities treated it as a tragic accident. Many in the Bitcoin community were stunned. One of cryptocurrency's loudest, most confrontational personalities had disappeared nearly without a trace. In the absence of evidence, conspiracy theories inevitably arose. Some whispered that he was silenced by unknown enemies. Others chalked it up to ironic karma. In 2010, he declared, "Bitcoin is bulletproof." His wife insisted it was just a sudden drowning. In the end, no foul play was confirmed. Popescu's massive Bitcoin wallet remains untouched, a cryptographic tomb for his fortune. His death became a cautionary chapter in crypto history. Even a self-proclaimed Bitcoin king can vanish in an instant, leaving behind only frozen coins and unanswered questions. Harry Roy Vevers. We shift continents for our next mystery. Harry Roy Vevers was a British real estate tycoon who amassed a huge fortune through development projects in Kenya. In February 2013, Vevers, 64, died suddenly at his home in Mombasa. The official cause of death was never disclosed, and under local custom he was buried quickly according to Islamic rites. His family was furious. They demanded a thorough autopsy, suspecting he had been poisoned. Vevers' sons insisted someone had murdered him and fought to have his body exhumed for tests. What followed was a decade-long saga. Bodies were exhumed, forensic tests were repeated by experts from Kenya and Britain, and endless court battles ensued. In 2024, a Kenyan judge finally ruled that Vevers' body was too decomposed to determine a cause. No one was charged, and the mystery remained officially unsolved. To some locals, he became a legend, the tycoon who died with secrets. His case taught a harsh lesson. Even with vast resources, one's fate can slip into obscurity if evidence disintegrates. In the end, Harry Roy Vevers' fortune passed quietly to heirs, and the real story of his death went with him to the grave, buried under a swarm of unanswered whys. Tiantian Colander. Back in the crypto world, yet another shocking loss occurred in 2022. Tiantian T.T. Colander was a 30-year-old Belgian entrepreneur who co-founded Amber Group, a cryptocurrency trading firm valued at about $3 billion. In September 2022, Colander was found dead in his Singapore apartment. Reports simply stated he had died in his sleep with no warning. His unexpected passing stunned colleagues and investors. One day he was modeling Asian crypto markets. The next, his chair in the office was empty. The circumstances of Colander's death were never made public. No official cause was released, which fueled rampant speculation online. In the tightly knit crypto community, some quietly wondered if something sinister had occurred. Amber Group publicly offered condolences and later set up memorial scholarships in his name, but the company gave no details. Colander's story became a cautionary footnote among cryptophiles. Even a bright young CEO can vanish mysteriously. His death reminds the industry that sudden losses can happen to anyone, prompting some firms to distribute responsibilities and keys, so a single loss can't cripple an organization. Nicolae Mushegian. Just weeks earlier, on another continent, a similar shock had occurred. Nicolae Mushegian co-founded MakerDAO, a pioneering decentralized finance platform. In October 2022, he was found dead off the coast of Puerto Rico, an apparent drowning. The eerie twist. Hours before his disappearance, Mushegian had tweeted ominously that U.S. intelligence agencies were planning to have him killed. Authorities ultimately ruled his death an accident, but Mushegian's dramatic final tweets gave his death an ominous tinge. The crypto community mourned him deeply, and some even set up memorial grants in his honor. His passing highlighted an uneasy truth. Brilliant entrepreneurs can become targets of their own warnings. Without official evidence of foul play, his death remains a haunting what-if in crypto lore. For many, Mushegian's story is a cautionary tale of paranoia and reality blurring into tragedy. Even after his untimely death, his final message lives on, prompting others in the industry to wonder what dangers might be lurking in the shadows of decentralized finance. Yevgeny Prigozhin. Finally, we come to a figure from the global stage. Yevgeny Prigozhin was not a Silicon Valley CEO. He was a Russian oligarch, head of the Wagner mercenary army, and a close ally of President Putin. He controlled vast resources, including reportedly enormous cryptocurrency holdings. On August 23, 2023, Prigozhin boarded a private jet, and it exploded over Russia, killing everyone on board. The timing was striking. Prigozhin had just led a short-lived mutiny against Russia's military leadership. Officially, the crash was blamed on mechanical failure at the time, but investigators later confirmed it was caused by a bomb, making it an assassination. Prigozhin's demise was sudden and absolute. In effect, a billionaire who played in the shadows was taken out not by chance, but by an explosive act of power. His death is a grim finale to this list. It shows that at the highest levels, hidden fortunes and dangerous secrets can collide with lethal force. In his case, secrets of war and possibly crypto deals were extinguished in an instant. Prigozhin's end may be the most extreme example yet, but it shares a lesson with the rest. When you accumulate dangerous knowledge or wealth in the shadows, you can end up paying the ultimate price.